Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. This is January 2014. Recently on Fox News, anchor Gretchen Carlson had on her program a Jewish rabbi, a Catholic priest, and the president of the organization American Atheists, David Silverman. To find out more about them, you can watch the segment, which I have linked below. In this video, I'm going to focus on the Catholic priest and atheist David Silverman. At one point, David Silverman said,
"Religion and superstition are synonyms. Religion is a superstition."
Later, in response, the Catholic priest said,
"Religion and superstition, he's completely wrong. Religion is based on revelation. It's based on a knowledge of a true God. Superstition is a perversion of religion. Atheism, sad to say, is the height of superstition, believing there is no God."
So each accused the other of being superstitious. Well, here is something on which surely both would agree. If a person believes in Thor, the god of thunder, that is superstitious. Why? Because there is no evidence to support the existence of Thor, the god of thunder. I am an atheist, which simply means that I do not find any credible evidence for the existence of any god. I base my life on reason and evidence. That is not being superstitious. But when I was a Catholic priest, I was superstitious big time, and I will give you one example from many examples. In May 1963, a Catholic bishop placed his hands on my head. And accordingly, for the next 5 years, hundreds of times, at the altars of the Catholic churches where I was stationed, I took a hardened bread wafer in my hands and said some words which I was convinced changed the bread into the body of Jesus. I then leaned forward over a container of some wine and said some words which I was convinced changed the wine into the blood of Jesus. Moments later, I ate and drank those substances, convinced that I was consuming the body and blood of Jesus, in spite of the fact that these entities retained all the appearances and all the taste of bread and wine. Thousands of times, I put a small hardened bread wafer on the tongues of Catholics at the communion rail. Both the recipient and I were convinced that it was the body of Jesus. We were convinced in spite of not having any credible evidence for support. That is superstition. I was superstitious. I now ridicule my former self for being so gullible. Assuming that the priest in the clip is a standard Catholic priest, what I was convinced of is identical with what he is convinced of. I join David Silverman in saying that he is superstitious and that Silverman and I are the ones that are not, because we strive to base our lives on reason and evidence. When that priest said that atheism is superstition, he was speaking from profound ignorance. Why do I make a big deal about it? As I say in other videos, I do not mind so much just the fact that someone else has religious beliefs. But the catch is, religions hinder the evolution of our human species toward what is better. Religions impede critical thinking and science. And religions try to impose on us false, immoral, harmful, evil standards of behavior. That I cannot leave unchallenged. That is why I make these videos. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.